Hey guys, this is me Dwivedi and you are listening on Extended reality Developers of India community. Today I'm very excited to host an educator because he's a business analyst professor. He's also a Facebook developer circle lead for Kolkata. So I'm really excited to host him today, and without any further delay, let's invite Sabyasachi Mukhopadhyay. Hi sir, how are you?
Okay, yeah, thanks Avi for inviting me here. It's an exciting opportunity for me to be a speaker in XRDI domain and platform. Definitely, it's been I believe that the audiences are will get some good insight about the current technologies of Industry 4.0 era.
Surely, the let's start with your introduction and let's tell the community that what you actually do and
Sure, sure.
yeah.
Okay, so basically, I am currently working as a faculty in Bhavan's Institute of Management Science, which is affiliated to MacOut, where I am exploring artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning in the domain of management, actually. And also, I am an active course curriculum developer in MacOut. So basically, we are nowadays, we all know the opportunities what we have seen in terms of AI, ML, deep learning in the domain of the technology science. But now it is quite exciting to see how they can be functionized in terms of the management domain. So that is the overall challenge. It's a new curriculum has introduced in the last year. So let's see.
Amazing. You are also known for your work in medical
Yeah.
sector. So
Mhm.
let us know how technology is helping in those domain and what were your experiences from that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, you see, basically my work is particularly focused on biophotonics. In engineering, we call it biomedical engineering. In physics, we specifically call it biophotonics. So basically, what we do, we basically capture the backscatter spectra, what you can say the reflected back spectra of the infected lesion of human body. For example, if somebody has the skin cancer or oral cancer, so what we do, we use the spectrometer. With the help of the spectrometer, we capture those infected lesion information. Okay, so here the information we collect is wavelength versus intensity. To use the wavelength in the range of 400 to 700 nanometer, which is completely non-invasive to human body. Basically, this is the zone of white light spectroscopy. So once you capture those intensity information, we basically train with our machine learning and deep learning algorithms as per the samples are available. Because you see, whenever you have data in order of 10 to the power 5, you can go for the deep learning. But for the lesser number of the samples, you can use machine learning. So we basically classify them and then see whether this is healthy or cancerous tissues, or if for example, we have also worked in the domain of your ophthalmology, where we have detected diabetic macular edema, diabetic retinopathy, which are the major cause of blindness. So it's not about the binary classification like healthy or disease. We have
Right.
also done the multi-class classification as well, where the different grades of disease can be classified. For example, in case of the cancer, you can see grade 1 and grade 2 at the early stages, grade 3 is considered for the final stages. So we have been able to do the multi-class classification even on the greater accuracy of more than 90%, and with the higher specificity as well. So it's been an exciting work, and we have collaborated with lots of hospitals throughout India and abroad, and has got a good response from the medical expert as well, from our
Amazing.
technology.
Amazing. The so specifically in cancer, you did a great job, and you especially in diabetic retinopathy, it's a great machine learning use case and great machine learning research. You told me that also you are working on IoT stuff and edge computing. So let's
Exactly.
can
Yeah.
you elaborate about Internet of Things? What are those, and what is edge computing? How they're
Okay.
different or similar? Yeah.
Mm, abs- Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, we are exploring edge computing and fog computing as well in the domain of the healthcare. Let me tell you, because earlier we are only focused on the uh, cloud-based analytics. You see, whatever we are doing earlier cases, we are basically capturing the data through our handheld devices like mobile phone. Then we are sending the data to cloud, and through the cloud platform, we are doing the analytics and sending back the report to our mobile phone app. Look, this person has cancer or not, or this person has diabetic retinopathy or not. That was our main intention earlier. So we are using software as a service platform. So nowadays what we are thinking that, you see, because in if you want to do the real time analytics, okay, what is happening, we can see in the cloud there is a huge amount of the congestion are happening. So you are not getting the real time report, you are getting the near real time report due to little bit of delay. So we thought that why not to explore the strength of the fog computing or edge computing. So basically edge computing or the fog computing concept is that whenever you are sending data to cloud due to the congestion, why not to use an intermediate platform like your mobile phone, such that we can reduce the latency we are receiving from the cloud, and we can make it in a real time we can access the real time data. So basically what we have done, instead of doing the analytics in cloud, we have started to process it through your mobile phone. Now you can tell me that's a good idea, but the processor power what you will receive from the cloud due to virtual GPUs, how you will do it in the mobile phone? Now that's the trick of edge computing. So basically you see there are ways of using the computational activities through your phone as well. So we are doing like a depthwise, you have heard about this CNN, right, which is a very
Right.
strong deep learning
Convolutional
computational
neural
tool.
networks. Yes.
Exactly. Okay, so we are using here a very tricky deep learning tools which we call depthwise separable CNN. So basically, with depthwise separable CNN, what it does, it reduces the time complexity. You see, in the machine learning or deep learning era, we always talk about the accuracies and all, but we one another important factor is your time complexity. Okay, and if you can reduce the time complexity, and that can be done through your tricky algorithms, if you can reduce the number of the dot products, okay, mathematically if I speak, so it can create impact on your time complexity. And if you can reduce the time complexity in your low processor power devices like mobile phone, so you can easily use that thing as a purpose of the edge computing. Definitely we are storing the thing in cloud, but analytics is happening on a phone. So in this way you can actually reduce the latencies whatever we are talking about, and you can easily produce the real time results. And that is the main challenge, because healthcare is a very sensitive thing, and you have to be accurate enough, and the real time analytics is playing a pivotal role here. And that's why nowadays the importance of the edge computing has arrived.
Amazing. So you are making a lot of algorithms. There are a lot of algorithms which you mostly execute on cloud computing, but you are increasing the processing power of the
Exactly.
devices so that you can execute them on the mobile
Exactly.
processors. So this is amazing.
Absolutely.
And yeah, it's an amazing field of science which we can explore surely. So in general, viewers who are not very technical would like to understand about cloud computing and fog. So there's cloud, there's fog, and mostly people don't understand the differences between it. So how would you explain a very minimal perspective of this?
Okay, sure. So look, basically, in a simple manner. You see, for example, if you are typing something, if you are running some codes in your machine, okay, so you are basically using the physical GPUs, okay,
Right.
of your machine. But you see, whenever now cloud is a virtual platform for your, if you understand, if you want to understand in a simple language. So basically what you do, through some means, through some process, you send the data to cloud with storage. Basically cloud is used for storage purpose, and if you can do some analytics, that is also fine, because you are using virtual GPUs there, help of the virtual GPUs. Nowadays, for example, students are quite accustomed with Google Colab, is one of the very good examples. So they are using the virtual GPUs. Okay, so now what is fog and edge, and what are their advantages? Now, as I told that, from the cloud, nowadays billions of people are using cloud. So what is happening, due to the humongous amount of the transmissions are going on between the physical devices and clouds? Okay, you are capturing the data through your sensor IoT devices, you are sending to cloud. So lot of congestions are happening, and due to congestions, due to jamming, we know what can happen. You see, there can be latencies. Okay, so you are not being able to access those data in real time. Okay, so there are always a delay of, it may be a few seconds, it may be a few minutes, there are always delay. Okay, so if we can put some intermediate devices, okay, so if we talk about, like I mentioned about the smartphone based approach, so that is a good example of edge computing. Now, in case of fog, what is the good example of the fog is gateway. Gateway is a good example of the fog computing. Okay, so fog and edge are playing an intermediate role between your data source and the cloud. Okay, which is reducing the load from computational load from cloud. You will do the storage in cloud, but it is reducing the computational load from the cloud. But let me tell you that, for example, if the problem complexity which you are solving, if you are solving a very complex problem which is a very time consuming, it is not the job of low processor devices. So in that case, very complex cases, definitely you have to do that in cloud. That is not the job of edge or fog devices. But edge fog device can support you to solve the case of any standard problems. Okay, so as of your understanding purpose, you can consider it as a intermediate devices which are reducing the load, computational load from your cloud.
Amazing. So yeah, so reduce the cloud usage and basically empowering the mobile devices, whatever the hardware you have, and how you can execute
Exactly.
all those code, heavy performant code
Exactly.
on the device, on the edge devices
On that,
itself.
exactly. And for the students who are listening to it, or any data science enthusiasts and all, let me tell you, Google couple of years, 1.5 year back, Google has launched TensorFlow Lite. You all aware about the
Right,
TensorFlow,
right.
so which is a very good deep learning paradigm. So nowadays Google has launched TensorFlow Lite to empower the edge computing. So if you want to experience the power of TensorFlow Lite, you can definitely explore, and you can make some amazing edge computing projects. Okay, and if you need any kind of help, you can directly contact me. My contacts are available with Avi, so you can easily contact me anytime.
Wow, that's amazing. So you gave us the entry point of edge computing. Amazing. So let's talk about some of
Exactly.
the challenges of your work, because you are working on a very extreme science field, and we would love to know the challenges of your work and what sort of mindset it takes to solve those challenges.
Okay, so thank you. You have asked a very right question. So the in healthcare domain, it's an extremely challenge. I mean, to convince the doctors. Okay, because you see, whatever the tools or methodologies you are using, that should be completely non-invasive to human body. Okay, so you have to, first of all, you have to make the collaboration with hospitals to collect the in vivo data, in vivo samples. That means the live samples. Okay, so whatever the devices you are using, whatever the algorithms you are using, you have to showcase doctors in front of the doctors that these are the completely non-invasive to human body. Then you have to take permissions. There are IRB protocols that they are available in the hospitals. You have to sign those protocols. Okay, so you have to follow each and every part of the ethics to collect the good amount of the samples, tissue samples, such that you can build your adequate training data set. And then once you build those training data set, once you evaluate your algorithmic performances, so you will show the report to doctors. They are the ultimate decision makers, that whether you can launch these products or not. Whenever, for example, if you are launching some healthcare apps or all, so doctors are the ultimate, and medical board and doctors are the ultimate, the judge of, you can say that they are the judge of your products. So basically they evaluate your alpha testing and beta testing phase, that whether this product can be launched in the market or not, whether that has the potential to create impact on the billions of lives or not. So basically, let me tell you that AI, data science, data analytics in the healthcare domain, they are playing a role of strong catalyst. Okay, but the ultimate decision makers are the doctors. For example, if your device can predict that this person does not have any cancer, okay, it is healthy, but you see, the cancer biology varies from people to people. Okay, the functioning in my body will not be the same in the functioning in the obese body. Okay, so everything is different. So doctor has those, they have studied MBBS for 5-6 years, so they have those essence, they have those sixth sense to understand that it may not be cancerous now, but there can be some sort of any other abnormalities may happen in the tissues. Okay, so they can understand that, they may tell that particular people to go of some sort of other kind of medical trials and all. So at the end of the day, whatever the devices you are producing, that is playing as a role of catalyst. But remember, doctors are the ultimate decision maker. And one point I want to add here, as we told about the challenges, I talked about the challenges about the data collections and data aggregations and all. And apart from that, what is the challenge in our society in terms of medical domain, and why I am so much passionate about working in this domain? Let me elaborate in few lines. Okay, so you see, in this current world, there are more than 96% people in our India under the bottom of pyramid category, and across the globe there are more than 80% people under the bottom of pyramid category. Now, what is bottom of pyramid category? That means this percentage of the people do not have enough money to pay tax. So you can understand, if somebody is suffering from a life-threatening diseases like cancer, or if somebody is suffering from diabetic retinopathy or diabetic macular edema, for due to which they can lose their vision. So how miserable will be their life to bear those expensive treatments? So why not to come up with some low-cost solutions? The main motto is to bring up a low-cost solution through SaaS model, software as a service, through platform as a service or PaaS model. If we can make the technology blessings to them, blessings to human life, so why not to step in this domain and to create with best of capacity, with me, whatever I have and whatever my team have, such that we can create impact on this particular domain with the help of the doctors and the blessings of all of you. That would be, what can be better than that? If we can reduce the treatment cost through technology, I think that can be huge impactful work, if we consider about the bottom of pyramid section. So that is the main motivation why I am working, because in spite of so much challenges in this domain.
Amazing. So you told us that the doctors are the
Exactly,
ultimate judge,
absolutely,
and they basically
absolutely,
know much
absolutely,
better than any computers, and ultimately they have to.
absolutely,
Yeah, amazing.
absolutely.
So it's a very crucial message to us that we should know that how technology can help people, how technology could help a lot of patients who could probably lose their eyes or something, but could save us by early detecting the symptoms. So it's an amazing step ahead for technology, and you are pushing the limits of that. I really appreciate
Thank
all
you,
those
thank you.
effort and all those work. So let's talk about some of the let's talk about being an educator, because you are also the lead for the Facebook developer circle, where you are also guiding a lot of students. You go to a lot of college visits, and you tell people that how to start with AI and ML, all these technologies. So let's talk about that. What kind of responsibility is it?
Okay, so first of all, let me tell you that yes, I am also the leader, Kolkata leader of Facebook Developer Circle. Apart from that, I am also Google Developer Expert in Machine Learning and Intel Software Innovator as well. So you can say every top technological community, I am very closely associated with it, and I do it very passionately. Because you see, nowadays students are very smart. They are quite keen to know about what are currently happening in the industry 4.0 era. So it is our responsibility that whatever little we know, if we can provide them those resources. So basically, whenever I got the invitation, I tried my best to go there and definitely guide them. So my motto is to, nowadays, you see, Facebook has, for example, Facebook has launched PyTorch a few years back. Google has also moved from TensorFlow to TensorFlow Lite to empower the edge computing level. And Google has also launched another platform. Let me tell the students, that is TensorFlow Quantum. Okay, so TensorFlow Quantum is one of the very good crucial step taken by Google, such that people who want to explore quantum machine learning, they can have a good experience by using those domain. Now we have to make understand the students that they have the potentials. They are the future. You see, they are the future of our country, of our nation. So as we have lot of problems, real world problem in our society, it's not only about healthcare, in agriculture and every domain, you can see there are a lot of challenging problems. So to solve those challenging problems, right from the beginning, students have to work from a real problems, real life problems. So you have to empower them, you have to guide them in a proper manner, that what are the current challenges are available in the society, and in which extent we can use technologies. Okay, so you have to train them with the right platform, and that's what we do. We provide them the training in terms of the right from the beginning of the R, Python, open source software. That is the basic initiator for anybody who wants to learn data science, data analytics, or machine learning, deep learning. So once they start with that, you know that by the whatever the current state of art deep learning frameworks are available nowadays, Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch, these all are the highly Pythonic. So if somebody knows Python very well, they can explore gradually on these domains. Once they are getting expert on that, we are telling them to move towards a little bit of edge computing platforms like TensorFlow. Right? Somebody may be very much keen about to know in the quantum platforms as well, because you see, data is getting double day by day. Okay, our
Surely.
digital platform nowadays in next 15 years, as per the experts, we will see the saturations in our processor powers. Okay, even supercomputer will not be able to process this humongous amount of the data which we will receive in 2000 by 2035. So that's why we require some sort of methodologies which can do the parallel processing at its best. So in this era, these quantum computers will have those kind of the powers. Okay, and that's why people are running after the quantum algorithms, quantum machine learning domain. People are so much passionate. Even government of India has announced 8,000 crore project. DST recently has announced about the quantum platforms, such that we can build quantum computers in India. Last year, China also has announced similar type of projects. Okay, so why these countries are running after the quantum tools and quantum methodologies and platforms? Because of those immense potential. Okay, so that's why you have to inform those things about the students, because as I told, that they are the future. They have brilliant capacities. Let me tell you, our Indian students have the brilliant capacities, and you can see the proof is that nowadays, if you see any top universities in United States, you can see all the top faculty scientists are from India. So because of that, so we have to train them, we have to guide them in a proper manner, such that they can make the bright future of India in upcoming years. So that's the challenge, that's the motto I take as an educator. And as I told you, that even not only for the science and technology, we are very passionate about exploring science, exploring this the strength of data science in the management domain as well. And I am strongly building those course curriculum in collaboration with MacOut, such that we can come out with a strong curriculum, that even the students of the management, they can also explore big data, they can also explore R, they can also explore Python in their own field, to analyze the financial data, to see the stock market potential, to analyze HR, to empower the HR analytics, to empower the marketing analytics, so to study the social media dynamics and all. So in every domain, we have to embrace technology. That's the main thing, because we are storing data digitally. We have to understand in a simple way. So in every domain, we can see there is a humongous amount of the potential of this data. After all, data is the new oil.
Amazing. It's a immense amount of responsibility is there to guide the next generation of students, which you are doing it perfectly well. So you also spoke about quantum computers. So I have worked on basic programs you can make, basic gates you can make with quantum computer, because there is Halama gate and there are so many more simple basic logical gates which you can basically right now build with the open source quantum computer available by IBM. And recently IBM released in 2019, I guess they released a 53-bit quantum computer. So what is the state of the art right now? What sort of program? I'm not too much into this thing, so I'm not able to guide my community very well about quantum computing. But what is the state of art, and what kind of programs, what kind of research right now scientists are doing? Because security is a major purpose. The SHA-256 description is not going to last against this quantum computers, and there are immense amount of research potential in chemistry and in medical as well.
Yes,
So
any domain, any domain.
in any
Absolutely,
domain.
absolutely. Absolutely. So
So yeah.
first of all, tell me that if you require any help in quantum domain, just feel free to contact me. I will be able to contribute anytime for you and for your community. You are doing a fabulous job for your community. I can see. I am closely monitoring it. Fantastic. Wish you all the best. And definitely, as you have asked about a very very crucial question about the security. Okay, so the security is another issue. So which quantum computers can create immense quantum computation domain has the immense potential to resolve those issues. Okay, so security is one aspect. Another aspect is the solutions, whatever the solutions we are providing to, for example, in case of the healthcare domain, in case of the quantum chemistry, everywhere the way you are actually using the classical algorithms, this the quantum algorithms has the capacity to work in a exponential faster growth. In sometimes, if not exponential, it shows the quadratic faster growth than the algorithm. So as I told, in most of the cases, whatever study we have made or whatever the study global scientists have made, if we talk about the data science aspect, for example, hand digit recognition, one of the good example I am sharing here, the hand digit recognition. You all know, whenever we start with the machine learning, we explore with the hand digit recognition MNIST data set. We basically download we basically explore those our algorithms. So still that nearby 98% we have seen in case of the classical machine learning what we are achieved to get. Now in the quantum domain, basically for feature extraction purpose, quantum principal component analysis or QPCA has been the optimum in terms of the feature extraction, which showcase the optimum performances. In case of the for example, the other machine learning tools, if we talk about quantum support vector machine, has showcased the optimum results or optimum performances till now in the quantum domain, where the researchers get a lot of confidence who are working in this particular field. So we have seen that the accuracy level is not varying much. We are getting accuracy level, for example, at most 98.3%. So there is not much differences between the accuracy, but time, in terms of time complexity, we can see the exponential growth. Okay, and that's a major factor. You see, as I told, that we're always talking about the processor powers. So if we can be effective enough in terms of the time complexity, then it can does a humongous job. Okay, and already Ovi has mentioned about that IBM has already provided a very strong platform. Okay, all of you can explore IBM Q experience, IBM quantum experience. If you go there, you can make play out around with the circuits. Okay, and at the end of the day, in the quantum domain, the success of the algorithm depends on the efficacy of the circuit. Okay, so that's a very impactful trick. So if you can go there, you can play around, you can create miracle. You can actually, you have two strong platforms in your hand nowadays. First of all, IBM Q experience, and secondly, I told recently Google has also launched TensorFlow Quantum. So if you know Python, I am telling you that in any domain you want to work, Python is playing a pivotal role. So there is immense potential, and it's a free open source software. So if you can learn Python properly, you will not face any problem, whether you are working in the classical phenomena, whether you are working in a quantum phenomena domain. So these are the areas basically. You can, the ways you are working in the machine learning domain, in a similar way, similar type of problems can be solved in the quantum domain. But definitely quantum deep learning is a matter of research. Quantum machine learning, we all are able to progress in some extent, but quantum deep learning is under the deep research. Okay, so as of now, it not much resources are available, but definitely in quantum machine learning you can explore out at some extent. There is no problem. And obviously the security is one of the major factor. People are working on different cryptographic algorithms, quantum cryptographic algorithms, to empower, to provide, make sure that whatever the technological evolution may happen, we can do it in a more secure manner. Okay, and obviously like one thing I want to mention here, Ravi, in every domain, you see the ethics and the legal aspects are very play the crucial role. In healthcare domain, obviously you have to stay ethical. You have to follow the guideline by ethical committee provided to you. So whatever maybe algorithms you may use, you have to follow ethics. Okay, already government of India is also demonstrating some ethics about using AI and all. Definitely in near future, in next 5-10 years, we will see the similar type of ethical rules for our quantum domain as as well, how to explore quantum machine learning, how to explore quantum deep learning, how to use quantum cryptographic tools ethically to provide the support. And definitely quantum internet is also blossoming up. So it will be very exciting to see in next 5 to 10 years that in how the industry will evolve in terms of the quantum technology. So I am very optimistic about that, and very very, you can see I am trying to also contribute whatever in best of my capacity, whatever I can do in terms of research as well.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You gave us a very pretty neat insights about this quantum computing technologies, about TensorFlow Quantum, and all those IBM available channels where you can basically simply go and try out simple building blocks of quantum computing. So let's talk.
Absolutely. Any confusion, always contact me. There is no problem.
Surely. Let's talk about the entry barriers. There are a lot of students who wants to get started with the Python, get started with the deep learning research, get started with maybe quantum computing, but there are a lot of roadblocks. Maybe they don't have a very good computer, maybe they don't have the sufficient knowledge of where to start. So let's talk about some of those entry barriers and what is your suggestion to them?
Okay, so that's a very good question, I must say. Definitely there are entry barriers are there, and that's why this community, for example, Facebook Developer Circle and other communities are playing a pivotal role in this particular domain. So that's why even we are working with different closely associated with different colleges to empower the students about the what are the emerging technologies are coming up, and obviously the syllabus course curriculums are also being evaluated according to that. So basically, if you join the Facebook developer circle, you can see there are a lot of scholarships are available. For example, data camp scholarships are available for the data science, machine learning. Your so if you can avail those scholarships, you can get those courses provided by data camp absolutely free. Okay, so you can learn from basic level. There are a lot of for example, you can learn basic level of Python, intermediate level of Python, advanced level of Python, and humongous amount of projects are available. So once you will get the explorations of those projects absolutely free of cost from the platforms Facebook Developer Circle is providing. And apart from that, you can similarly you can explore the Python, you can explore R as well, basic level, intermediate level, advanced level. And from the Keras platform there are a lot of exciting machine learning projects are available. So everything is available there. So if you stay in the community, if you are updated in the community, you can easily avail those things. And apart from that, you can get a lot of interesting materials by doing simply Google search. Even interesting courses are available in YouTube as well. If you can check them out, you can easily get a lot of resources. Let me tell you, even in 3-4 year backs, those things are not very easy. People has to do lot of hard work to learn those things. Nowadays a lot of things are available. You have to just properly articulately uh, uh, proceed towards the learning procedure. That okay, first of all I will learn basic level of Python, or I will learn basic level of R. So for that you have to check out the simple steps, simple problems through the loops, through function, and how to use them in case of R or in case of Python, whatever the programming language you are learning. So just follow the basic steps first, do not jump. Then nowadays to what is happening, due to the so much popularity of deep learning, people even do not learn Python properly, people even do not learn machine learning properly. Students are jumping. So that jump is very dangerous. Okay. And along with that, let me tell you that you have to be very serious about linear algebra, basic aspects of the statistics, probability, because these are the basic building. You see, otherwise you will not be able to even develop any kind of algorithms if you don't know them. For example, I talked about dot products. Okay, so if you do not know the linear algebra properly, you will not be able to understand that how dot products are creating impact on algorithms. And apart from that, data structure, let me tell you, data structure is the main fundamental. Because even nowadays, whatever the databases are available, you all may aware about the graph databases, which is the part of nonlinear data structure. Neo4j, Facebook, every top companies are using graph database. So due to the humongous amount of the growth of the databases, we all know there are the limitations of the relation databases, RDBMS. So that's why people are going towards the NoSQL approaches or graph databases. So, and the evolution of the big data has created a lot of opportunity for the new amount of the jobs. Okay, so once you know about those technologies, those tools, jobs are available, but you have to be aware about those technologies, and there is no shortcut in success. You have to do hard work but smartly. You have to understand the need of the market. It's not like that everybody will be passionate about the data science. Somebody may want to be cloud architect, somebody may want to be a database experts. So according to that, first of all, identify your interest. Okay, that's why what we do, we arrange talks in various topics. We try to give the 360 view of the available technological aspects and the career aspects to us in front of students to our events, such that student can identify, look, I want to work in the security domain. No, I want to work in data science domain. No, I want to be the cloud architect. No, I want to work in the testing domain. So according to their interest, their passion, they segregate the fields and they proceed on that direction.
Very well explained. That entry barriers, and to overcome the entry barriers, the communities are very great place to start with. And
Absolutely.
even on Facebook developer circle, there are a lot of people who are ready to answer your queries, and on XRDI as well, you can post your questions and how to overcome those barriers, and we are able to answer all those questions. So very well said. And also I am getting a question from a listener right now, that he is getting a lot of messages from all those universities who are pushing some sort of data science course. So how well are those courses, and is it going to be any benefit joining a course versus and is there any free resource available, self-learning versus the joining a university to get a dedicated course on data science?
Well, that's a that's a very good question. In fact, you see, first of all, let me tell you that whenever you go for a certain job, for example, if you consider that in your undergraduate level, you do not have any explorations in data science. If I consider that whatever you have done, you may have done BTech, BSc, or or a BCA, whatever may be your bachelor background. So it may happen that you do not have explorations in data science domain, machine learning domain, deep learning domain. Now people get confused. Now you see, if I want to pursue career in that dimension, should I do any certification course or should I enroll in universities? So let me tell you a few things. First of all, you have to think that what career you want to make. If you want to stay in academics, okay, then you have to do master degree. First of all, you must have to do master degree minimum, okay, and then you have to go for PhD. In case of academics, that's a simple thing because of the UGC rules in India, even in abroad. Even in abroad, if you want to become faculty, you have to do PhD. So once you want to do PhD or master degree, in the meantime, you can easily have a lot of opportunities to explore lot of research projects in data science domain, machine learning domain, deep learning domain. So your career path is quite simple. You have to do master degree and then followed by PhD. But in case of industry, now the next thing comes up, the industry. If you want to looking for the positions of the data scientist, data analyst in industry domain, so basically whenever you are appearing, people always appearing for the interview, people always ask for your experience, either through certification courses, either through degree courses, or any project you have worked. I mean, really impactful project for any startup company. It may be for any startup company. It may be for any other organizations. That what kind of projects you have done. Okay, so in that case, the project will be the more closely towards the industrial problems, the real life problems, real world problem. The more the chances of getting hired will be increasing. Okay, and the thing is that in whether you go for the industrial jobs or whether you go for the academic job in this data science domain, first of all, people will ask you very basic questions. So make sure that you know the basics. I'm repeatedly telling you, you know the basics. Make sure, if you want to explore in data science domain, be strong in linear algebra, solving what is eigenvalue, what is eigenvector. You have to know that. People will ask you what is PCA. People will not ask you about the adversarial generative network or GAN or something like that. They will not go to that extent. They will first of all you ask you what is PCA, what is can you calculate eigenvector or eigenvalue, can compute the eigenvalue of certain matrix. So these are the very basic questions. They will ask you first the very basic questions. So if you can't answer them, even if you know GAN very properly, okay, or even if you know reinforcement learning very properly, you will not get the job because people will say that you don't know the basics. If you don't know the basics, that means your fundamentals are not strong. I am giving you simple examples. Whenever you will go to industry, for example, you will be given the task is not only about the getting the accuracy. You have to develop certain algorithms. As a data scientist, it's not only about the job of the analytics. You also have to develop the algorithms. And how will you develop the algorithms? For example, n by n images, if you are doing the job in nested for loop, so what will be the order of complexity? It will be order of n
N
square.
square. O n square.
Now if you have to unfold, that, okay, if you have to unfold, for example, in the first row you have the data like ABC, second row DEF. Now if you have to unfold in horizontal or vertical direction, that means in mathematical term we call it vectorization. So if we do the vectorization, so what will be the order of complexity now? It will become order of n. So you are reducing the complexity level from order of n square to order of n. And that's why those tricks are available in everywhere. If you are working in the domain, for example, in the earlier of my discussions with Ovi, I mentioned about the edge computing, where we are using the tricks of depth-wise separable CNN
Right.
everywhere. Even if you see in the deep learning in the final stage, okay, people use this particular trick of vectorization. Okay, so in everywhere wherever in this domain you are working, the basics are always important. And if you can't answer this kind of tricky questions, these are very simple, but if you don't have the knowledge how to tackle with the order of complexity and order of all those things, like that's why I told that data structures always play the important role. People who are nowadays working in the data science domain, for example, if a lot of people, for example, you can see they have the degrees in 90s or even early 20s, early 2000s or something like that. They don't have that much of core specialization on data science, but they were very strong in statistics, they were very strong in mathematics, and they are very strong strong on the algorithmic section, and that's why they are able to explore in these fields. So do not get confused. First of all, think whether you want to go to academics or industry. If it is academics, as I told you, that you have to do master degree followed by PhD. If you want to do in industry, then there are you can either take degrees from university. Certifications courses are also welcome, and obviously, but remember, you should have a good project exposure. Either you can work with certain internship with certain organizations, or have a you can have a good exposure in startup organization. But make sure that whatever the project you do, that should have the industrial impact. Okay, that will give the confidence to the recruiter that no, this guy at least have done these things, so I can have some faith on that guy, or I can rely on that guy. But everything depends upon the performance of the interview. If you can't answer the basic questions, it will be very difficult. It will be very difficult for any recruiter to hire you. So basics are very important. And along with that, definitely have some exposure in image processing, basic aspects of image processing and computer vision. Okay, so there are a lot of tricky questions they ask from the from the outlier detection, for example, the edge detection. Okay, so these are the very questions, very basic questions they ask from the image processing. Okay, definitely these things are important. And obviously some sort of the signal processing knowledge, Fourier transform, Fourier series. Okay, so these are the very important thing. Because why people, even in our case, let me tell you one important examples. I talked about machine learning, I talked about deep learning, but what about the pre-processing step? In the pre-processing step, for example, is the data processing is very important. In earlier stage, what you are doing, because we capture data in the spatial domain. And the spatial domain, if you are dealing with in vivo samples in the healthcare, I am talking about, there are huge amount of noise because of the interference of these stray lights. Okay, now the students who are from the engineering background, they know that it is not possible to remove the noise 100%. Noise means here unwanted signals, interference of the unwanted signals. So what we do the Fourier pre-processing. We go to take the signal from spatial domain to Fourier domain. Now what is the advantage? From the convolution theorem, we know that the noise and signals are in the convoluted format in the spatial domain, but we map them in the Fourier domain. What will happen? They will become in a multiplicative format, so it becomes easier for you to remove the noise. Are you getting my point? So convolution theorem, they may ask you what is convolution theorem. It is available in image processing, it is available in signal processing as well. Okay, signal processing, we talk about 1D signals. In image processing we go to 2D, then
2D.
gradually 3D. That's the okay. So gradually we go for the higher dimensionals. So but we have to understand na, what are the basic aspects. If you can't answer them these basic questions, it will become very difficult. And that's why I'm telling you that whenever you are defining career path, make sure to learn step by step. Do not jump. Okay, whatever the certification course you may do university courses, but do not jump. Follow the basics. Follow the basics of image processing, basics of signal processing, basics of linear algebra, statistics, probability, and then machine learning and deep learning. Okay, I hope the paths are now quite clear to you.
Obviously this is a very explained and very well answered question now, because you told us that first decide that what career path you want to take. Is it academic, or is it going to be a job, or is it going to be a research? So what is it? First decide that. Based on that you can take following steps. Also you told us that how confused students and people are about so many technologies. There is R, there is a TensorFlow. So people are very confused between all these terms, that whether choose Keras versus R versus all these other technologies. OpenAI is there and all those. But what they are not understanding is the principle, the basic mathematical models are always going to be same, whether it's one dimensional signal processing, or it's going to be multiple n dimensional product. The algorithm which are you can use on one, you can also use on multiple. So the very basics you explained it very well. So let's come to the final question, which is basically about the recent announcement which our government did. Is the programming language introduction in the class 6th. So how is it going to affect the students, or how is it going to benefit them? Also let's talk about what is the I mean 10-15 years later, what we'll see, that are we going to see any change in generation because of their decisions, because they are getting introduced to computers very early in their life? So is it going to be any benefit?
Obviously, you see, look, first of all, let me tell you that whatever government has announced as a very, I mean, I would say, as a very crucial step in our Indian educational system, which can revolutionize the whole system. Because you see, first of all, let me tell you, they're introducing programming languages from the early stage classes, class 5, 6, or class 4. You see, already we have seen the success in the US universities. Okay, in US schools in US, people, for example, students, even they are putting emphasis on the learning of the scratch languages even before the JavaScript. Okay, in India, we have seen that in CBSE and few boards in class 8 9 they have introduced AI, and they got the very good responses from the students. Okay, and in few cases they are also teaching the JavaScript, and students have responded very well. And whenever we come to interaction with those students, whenever they are in the college level and all, they all told that we got the benefit because of our school curriculum. Okay, the students who are learning the programming languages in the first year of engineering, they are feeling lack of confidences, because they are thinking that those students who have learned in the school level, they can do better than us. But definitely at the end of the day, it's your passion, and it's your confidence level, it's your all about, it's your effort. Even if you learn in college level, they all have done well. Whoever learned in the college level, I would not say they have done badly. But if you can introduce in the earlier stages, for example, earlier days, what happens 10 years 20 years back, and even in 50 years back, we always talked about that if students know mathematics, if students know English in India, I'm talking about, it's a fantastic. We always appreciate them. But that's not the right way. Nowadays, you see, it's not about the knowing mathematics or science is good enough. We have to understand that nowadays we are storing data digitally. Okay, so our understanding level, for example, I want to evaluate my science knowledge, I want to evaluate my mathematical knowledge. Okay, so what the means of that evaluating procedure? So to evaluate that procedure, I have require some platforms, and digital, to evaluate the digital data, what can be better platform than computers? So you have to make them strong in computers, and to introduce these courses from class 6 level. Okay, so it is a very welcome steps, because the students, and I would want to say that if we introduce the scratch level languages, that would be very good enough, because scratch helps to build your algorithmic concept. Okay,
बिल्कुल.
because the students, if students can think computational logical, I mean computationally, if they can think their logic, build their logic proper manner, it will reduce their fear about algorithms. They can more think about coherently, they can understand the importances of those algorithms, which will benefit them not only in the college level but in the job life. They can get the high level of jobs, which actually which we have seen in case of the US system, US education system. That's students who have learned the computational languages from the class 4 or 5, how they are blossoming their career in the college lives, and they are getting the topmost jobs from Google, Microsoft, and all those things. So, and even in academics, you can see their performances in Stanford, Harvard, and MIT. So they are becoming, it's not only about learning those languages, but some sort of philosophical aspects is also required to contribute at a highest intellectual level. And that philosophy only can come up once you are confident about your knowledge, about learnings. So that, for that you require some sort of time. It's not a matter of 2 years, 4 years, or 5 years, or 10 years. It takes some time. Okay, I have learned that thing, I have applied in my field, I am getting success. So once you look back 10, 15 years of your career path, then you gradually understand, okay, so that is the way people should learn. Okay, learning Scratch is more important than JavaScript first, because Scratch will build your algorithmic concept. But you have to realize, you have to realize that then only you can contribute that thing in a curriculum. You can, if even if you're for industry, even if you're for academician, you have to recommend, well, I have experienced that thing, I should try that out. You have to convince your fellow members. So in that way, the propagation, the positive vibe of propagation of learning proceeds. But it is not a job of one day, 1 year, or a decade. It's a job of several years. Okay, so that's why the more you will immerse yourself towards the new technologies, advanced technologies from the earlier level, the more your vision will be clear. Because even nowadays students go to learn engineering. Okay, their vision is not clear, they are obscure. What to learn, whether I should be admitted for electrical engineering, I should be admitted for electronics and communication engineering, should I be admitted for a computer science engineering? So they don't have clear view, they ask others. Whatever you suggest them, they check the majority, they go for admission. They don't take the BTech admission from passion, they take the bigger BTech admission from the recommendation. Are you
Right.
getting my point? Recommendation from the others. So that thing will change if you can introduce from class 6 level. A student can easily understand. And apart from, it's not only about for example, about the research, or even it's not only about the getting success in academician, being academician, but you have to also understand about the new jobs which are coming in the market. Let me share a good example with you. In 2018, TCS got a very good project from Japan. So that is based on robotic process automation. So they are hiring throughout India. They require 3 lakh skilled people. But after all overall scrutiny, they only 250 people who are aware about the robotic process automation.
Wow.
The job demand is of 3 lakh people.
No.
Only 250 people who know the robotic process automation. So you can see there are jobs are available, but people are not skilled enough.
Mm,
Are you
that's
getting my point?
true.
People are not skilled enough. People don't know. 2014 it was business process automation. 2018 gradually robotic process automation has started. Even the report of the Hindu by 2021, apart from that need of 3 lakh people, more 2 lakh jobs will be there in the robotic process automation domain. In 2025 it will be intelligence process automation, which will be completely driven by AI. So you can see these technologies are coming out, but people are not aware of that. Why it is happening? Because of the gap between the academics and industry. Okay, fields are exploring, but you have very little time. Only for in BTech level, you only have the 4 year span of time, and if you remove the final year because of the campusing and all, you get only 3 years. Are you getting my point? So how will you introduce everything within these 3 years? So it is always better, the more you can introduce those advanced courses from the school level. It's not about burdening on the students. It's better for their career. Okay, I can assure that students can play the video game from your computers. They can exploring lot of new things. Students are keen, but we have to gradually make them accustomed. We have to gradually make them accustomed with these computational tools. Okay, so you are interesting about that. See, Because of this is happening. So Scratch is a very good medium. If we can introduce that kind of language, students can play around, they can make a lot of things, they can be very strong in algorithms, and that's the perfect way of starting your computational career from the early stages. That will build the student's future in a proper manner. That is required. You may work in any domain. Even I am telling you, even in academics, you see people who are working in the chemistry, who are working in the biology, even they require some sort of computational knowledges to do certain sort of evaluations of their experimental outcome. So even they are also facing challenges in their PhD level, in their academic career. So suppose if they know certain things, at least a basic level of things from class 6, class 7 level, so how will they be benefited? It will create a huge impact in the job market. People who want to build their career, it will have a huge influence, I can say. And definitely, but one thing, definitely we have to provide them the proper infrastructure. Schools in the towns, school in the rural areas, government has to do a lot of efforts, obviously, that in proper infrastructure facilities are important. Otherwise it will not be executed in a proper manner or proper direction.
That is very well said, Da. And also, the teachers need to be educated to for this new
Absolutely,
change.
absolutely,
That
absolutely,
that's a very very interesting answer, and we covered a lot of aspect of this answer, because obviously a language like Scratch will teach students in a playful way that how to construct and how to build logics. And also Mark Zuckerberg said everybody in the earth should learn the languages, should learn how to code, because it teach a lot about things. For example, if you even are not someone who is going to code for your life, you can learn a lot of things from coding, that how to dissect a problem into several smaller problems and then solve them. So it's give you good thinking process. So yeah, it's amazing. So finally, if you have any message to our people and who are listening us, please do share with us.
Well, so as I always say, that work hard but in a smart manner. That's it.
Totally.
Chase your passion, work hard in a smart manner. That's it.
Wow, that's an amazing message, because it's very important that people work hard but don't work smartly, or people work smart but don't want to work hard. Both are totally important. You said it really well. So with this, let's end
Thank you.
our podcast here. And it was an amazing to host you. We are very delighted to have you on the show. And it was so. I
It's
mean,
all my pleasure.
I was trying this to happen for so long, and finally it happened. Finally, you were on the show and you shared a great insight about the community, about the guidelines, how to start with these technologies, about quantum computing. I just love the conversation, and hopefully our audience will love it too and share it to all the other people who can basically enjoy this. So with this, let's end our podcast and have a great day, guys. And please keep yourself safe, and see you next week.